It is time for another Elite League cast. Today we've got Adila playing against Tex. And Tex is going to be rocking his Mech Boy, Adila's going to be rocking his War Spider X-Act. This is a match from the lower bracket, or the losers bracket, as some might not so affectionately call it. And therefore this is going to be a best of one match. Whoever wins this will move on to the next round, and I believe they'll be fighting against Blood Rain. The acute listeners to the channel who have been following League so far will actually notice that I've spoiled the winner of this match because in the last upload that I did, because I'm an idiot and I uploaded things in the wrong order, as well as casting things in the wrong order. But regardless, we shall move on. And yes, I do apologise for the length of these, since these are only best of ones and this is high level tournament gameplay. I'm not just uploading games that are 30 minutes long and for the sake of it, you know, this is how tournament matches are. Some of them are a lot shorter. So let's see what happens in this one. Pretty conventional opening build so far. Pretty cool little matchup this. Both of the ranged teleporting heroes for the Eldar and the Orcs. Two races that do a lot of damage with their units. So it's quite a little mirror here. And both forces so far have got two ranged units and one melee unit as well. So it's interesting to see how they diversify. Now it looks like Adila's going for the northern contested VP, but Tex is going to get that southern one. Guardians already with the battle equipment upgrade, that's cool. You can see how the 33% extra HP is becoming quite influential. Nice tie-up from the War Spider X-Act there onto the Shooter Boys, ensuring that the Banshees can get into melee without wiping out anything. The Guardians are running into retreat to get the grenade. Oh my god, he kind of fucks it up. He actually gets one of the models, the other one, oh, the far one gets wiped. 3 HP for the Shooter Boys, but the War Spider X-Act has already used his teleport. Doesn't actually have the energy to get another one. Oh my god, he could have actually teleported into base and probably killed him in melee. Jeez. Yeah, 3 HP for the Shooter Squad, that is insane. Banshee's 9 retreat path for the Mech Boy. What's the Mech Boy going to do? Going to get the Mech Boy as well? Oh my god, are you kidding me? The Shooter Boys killed the Banshee model that was at the front. The Mech Boy gets away with only one more hit from the Banshees would have killed him. But instead, Adila is being punished for his very aggressive Eldar play. I take it back from what I said before. Jesus Christ, Adila plays Eldar so aggressively. Okay, he nearly wiped out the Mech Boy. One more swing from the Banshees would have killed it. The lead model was going to get that swing, and then she died to shooters. That is so unlucky. And then 3 HP on the fucking Shooter Boys. Absolutely ridiculous. Tex is calling it the Adila Gambit, because yes, that was a crazy aggressive play that would have done him so well if it paid off. If he wiped the Shooter Boys and the Mech Boy, oh my god, this game would be in such a bad spot for Tex, but he hasn't. So instead, Tex is the one who's getting more gens than Adila, because Adila is committed to, well, that push that bled a lot of models, and he's committed to getting this battle equipment. I don't think we see anything else yet. No, we see the Shuriken coming out instead. So that obviously gives Tex the advantage in terms of wreck, which he has invested into a lot of generators, more generators than Adila has, but it also gives Tex an advantage in terms of the map control. There is a lot, oh yes, I love this, more Daka and the Daka. Well, Daka, I did 4, so 3, only 3 Dakas, but the Daka gun, basically a big shooter for your Mech Boy. Back when this was 20 power in retail as well as in earlier elite patches, I would always do what Tex is doing. I would always make this my first ever purchase in this matchup because, as Asmon says, the mech is going to kill 2 Guardians per minute. I mean, per second. This thing kills Guardians real quick, especially when they don't have that 33% extra HP from their battle equipment. It is such a good upgrade. Teleport it around, in cover, just hunt down Guardians, and you just kill them so fast, and it really hurts the Eldar economy. Guardians at the start, with only 100 HP each, they're the sort of weakness in the Eldar eco. You really want to punish them, focus on them, try and bleed them as much as possible early on, and it will really set the Eldar back. So that's Tex's plan. One further thing is, now that Daka is actually 25 power, I don't actually bother going for it first anymore. I just find it's crazy. Only 5 power difference. You'd think, how does that make a big deal? But I just feel it does. I feel like to get it out quick enough, you need to drop an extra gen, and then that delays your tier 1.5. I just don't like it. I just like to get sword buys fast. But that is not what Tex is doing here by the looks of it. I mean, maybe. No. He's going for a fast tier 2. He's dropping down 5 generators, which is absolutely outrageous. You never actually need 5 generators in terms of cost effectiveness. You'll always end up floating requisition sorry, you'll always end up floating power because of a lack of requisition. If you go for 5 generators, 4 is generally optimal. But I guess Tex just wants to... The reasons why you'd go 5 generators instead of 4, in spite of that, is because you expect your opponent to bash you. So Tex has obviously gone for a lighter tier 1 here. I mean, well... Yeah, he has, because Adila's got all the upgrades on his Eldar troops. Now, Tex has gone for fully upgraded double shooters, and he's using them really well. Look at how they're split up here to counter the Shuriken. Unfortunately, this shooter boy squad does have to retreat thanks to the fleeting Banshees. Get a nice amount of model kills as well. I actually kill all 5. No, he just kills 4, but that's fine. So either way, Adila has gone for a heavier tier 1 than Tex, and therefore Tex may expect that he will lose some of his generators. Therefore he opts to go for 5 generators, knowing that it is suboptimal, because he actually expects that he will lose some of those generators before he can get to tier 2. Now Adila knows that he's behind here, he knows that he's spent a lot in tier 1, he knows that he's bled a lot, he knows that Tex has put down generators really quick, and he's put down a damn lot of generators too. Therefore Adila is going to try and capture the contested power rather than destroy it, so that he can turn that advantage around and get to the same position in tech that the same position in tech that Tex is at. But we'll see how it goes, because this is risky. If he cannot successfully capture the power right now, he's going to be really fucked, because he's allowing Tex to get away with having 5 generators. That is going to give Tex such a massive power lead. Now he actually does manage to set up his Shuriken. I don't know what's going on with the mech boy. He's kind of derping out. He finally does get into melee. Only one of these slugger boys is suppressed initially. The shoot boys just move in. The shoot boys are just doing crazy damage because they're both fully upgraded. Nice use of aiming what's that, and this is just way too much damage. No rangers nearby to kinetic pulse the shooter blob to stop it firing. No shurikens to suppress them. Not even any Dire Avengers, oh, there's no such thing as Dire Avengers anymore. Not even any Guardians to run in and disrupt them with grenades. So basically, those shooters just move their way through the Eldar army here. And this is one thing that is really influential in this matchup. The shooter boys in tier 1 are just fucking insane. Now the thing is, shooter boys don't really scale. Like, this is as good as they get, right? They don't get any better than this in tier 2. Whereas Guardians actually get their Warlock, which makes them way better, with a massive 20% damage resistance and the big fat 250 extra HP per model. But yeah, I'm kind of wondering how Adila is going to deal with this. The Death Dread is already out. That thing's going to get burners and bits real quick, and then it's going to burn all Adila's gen farm. Tex is still rocking 5 gens, for fuck's sake. Like, Tex has got no concerns for power ever again. Power is just not a problem for him. He's already got the double shooters upgraded, so Tex only has the Slugger Boys to upgrade, so what is he even going to spend his money on? We're going to be seeing another unit coming out of Tex real soon. Honestly, now that he's in tier 2, he has 2 options, because what's good against the Death Dread? Bright Lance and Warp Spiders with the Haywire grenades, right? Oh, Death Dread's actually going to wipe out the Shuriken. Damn, Adila is fucked. I was going to say, what could Adila get next? Well, he's in tier 2. He'd obviously go for a Bright Lance if the Shuriken didn't get wiped. And then he could drop in, like, Haywire Brood. Warp Spider Brood, that then could get the Haywire, that deal with Death Dread. So how do you counter that as Tex? Well, you just go for 2 things. Have a guess, guys. What 2 things do you think he'd go for? I guess there's actually 3 things, but I'm thinking 2 things. I'm thinking either go for the Weird Boy, or go for Storm Boys. Getting Storm Boys in tier 2 is really cool. I actually think it's a really nice idea, because Storm Boys bleed loads in tier 1 when you just have the boys, because they're not very tanky. When you get them in tier 2, you get really way higher jumping range. You get the stun on landing, which helps you fight melee, and just the Storm Boy knob's really fucking tanky and powerful, so he can actually tank a lot of damage to stop the bleed. So yes, I would like to see that, because that would then counter the Warp Spiders, because you use your Bomber Boys to make them teleport, and then you can jump on them. Or you do it the other way around. It doesn't really matter. You can use Bomber Boys to knock them out of cover, and then Shooter Boys can just annihilate them. While they're out of cover, they're not very good in ranged firefights. Alternatively, he could actually get Stick Bombers. Wouldn't be a bad idea. That would count the Bright Lance. That would count the Warp Spiders. It forces them to teleport, and then you just kill them with your Shooter Boys. That's the thing. Shooter Boys will never do well against Warp Spiders if they're fighting Warp Spiders in cover and they're out of cover. Which they always should be by default, right? Because Warp Spiders can teleport. So why the hell would Warp Spiders ever be fighting if they weren't in cover? And yes, the stick bombers, obviously, you throw the sticks on them, it makes them teleport, and then you kill them with your shooters. Regardless, we're not seeing that meta because Adila was in an awkward position, so he had to take a more risky play. He's gone for the Falcon. That helps him push forward. It can help him kill the Death Dread, and then he can potentially get a Gem Bash off. That is the less safe play, but the play that he kind of had to make because he's so far behind at this point. And why is it not very safe? Well, firstly, he's against a mech who can get the Beamy Death Gun, which is not very good because a teleporting AV platform is just going to be amazing against something as fragile as the Falcon. Now we do see the Haywire Grenade coming down. This could actually be the end of the Falcon. However, he's driving forward into the Beamy Death Gun, which is probably going to result in the end of the Falcon. One more shot if he doesn't move, and then he can teleport after him and finish him off. Okay, well, he doesn't get that, but he can still teleport forward. He actually has proximity mines in his mech boy as well, which is going to be really hard for Adila to deal with, because he doesn't have any ranges, so he's got no detection. Crackshot comes down with Warp Spiders, but they don't actually fully get into cover. They're already injured, and they then have to face 2 level 2 fully upgraded shooter boys. It's not going to go very well for you there, Adila. More proximity mines are going to go down. These things, if they do blow up on the Falcon, will snare it for a damn long time. They don't actually do a lot of damage, but they will snare it for ages, and then it'll be an easy target for a rampaging Death Dread or the Beamy Looter from the Mech Boy. Of course, the mines are also useful for this reason. Suppressing the Banshees and knocking them over so the shoot boys can do their thing. Falcon needs to be really careful moving forward here. Adila's playing it alright. What's going up top? Well, Spider was forced off by the shoot boys, unfortunately. So, VPs at this point are looking pretty tricky for Adila. He is down 200, which is rather concerning, especially when you consider that the Orc tier 3 is just so much better than the Eldar tier 3. This is not really a position that you want to be in. Speaking of, looks like Tex is just going to go tier 3. I mean, he's still rocking 5 generators, for fuck's sake. Look how much power he has. He's just dropped 150 power on the tier 3 upgrade, and he's still got 100 left. Absolutely ridiculous. One more shot from the Mech Boy is going to finish him off. Finish off the Falcon, but he's not going to get it. The Warp Spider XS is going to time up in melee, which is fair enough, but the Falcon's just not really doing anything. It's not putting on the pressure like it was meant to. You know, that Falcon needed to come out and wipe the Death Dread and then actually help bash the generators. Because he's not really got that, I don't know, man. Adila's just constantly on the back foot. He's forced to get ranges because of all these proximity mines lying about, causing him an absolute fucking nuisance. And it's just not good. Shooter Boys actually managed to drop a Warp Spider model before they actually retreat, which is great for them. Really cost effective to lose 2 Shooter Boys for a single Warp Spider. It's because the Warp Spiders weren't actually in cover when they were fighting then, which is a big fail. I think the Falcon got hit by a mine then as well, which is not ideal. So it is snared, and the Death Dread is moving in, trying to get it. Tanking damage while the Mech Boy does some serious damage to the Falcon. Ooh, rear armor hit there. Does he have energy for a teleport? He does. One teleport will finish off that Falcon. He's not going to do it. Yeah, Tex is playing very conservative and safe. I like it. He does have a big lead here. He's got a lead in tech, he's got a lead in economy, he's got a lead in VPs. No reason for him to be getting over Amiga. He's actually going for the Knob squad. Banshees do get in on these shoot boys. The shoot boys are going to have to retreat. They're going to bleed a lot of models. Banshees have done really well. I'm surprised they're only tier 2. Only level 2. Only just level 2 as well. Not sure why Tex is saying, maybe he forgot about the shoot boys. He could have, of course, just put them in the garrison, which would have forced off these Banshees. Banshees are really low on HP. That probably would have made them retreat. Maybe that's why he's erring. Problem for the Adila at this point, to be honest, he's just stuck in tier 2 and all the crazy orc shit's just going to come out. He's got knobs to contend with. Big thing, before he knows it, he's going to have commandos to contend with. They're going to be jumping out from behind the Falcon and just blasting it with their rocket launcher. And I just don't really think that Adila can deal with this. The Eldar tier 2 is just not capable of fighting off the Orc tier 3. I mean, quite frankly, the Eldar tier 3 can't fight off the Orc tier 3, so what chance does the tier 2 have? Way too much damage coming onto these Banshees, double upgraded shooters and the burners from the Death Dread. That is a terrible engagement. Adila is bleeding fucking shitloads. Does he have a Bright Lance? No, he doesn't. He's just got the Shuriken. Knobs are actually on the field now. Suppression is going to deal with them quite well, though. I don't know if they've got meaner and greener. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. There is the Frenzy. Well, that's 75 red down the bank, but it just means the knobs walk through onto the Shuriken, and then they deal with it. The Emit Boy teleports in, finishes it off with his beamy Death Gun. Like, this is the thing, man. Yeah, and there you go. Battery Pack was there, heals up the knobs. There's just absolutely nothing that Adila can do at this point. That is going to be GG. It is so risky to go for a Falcon versus the mech, but I kind of explained it. Adila was already on the back foot. He kind of needed to make a play, you know, and that was the play he went for. He went for that Falcon. But it didn't pay off. He didn't even manage to kill the Death Dread. Death Dread was nearly level 3 by the end of the game. And it worked out for him. That was Adila's Gambit, guys. I feel kind of bad for him because that was such an impressive opening. And, oh, man, one more swing from the Banshees and it would have been a dead mech boy. Then he wouldn't have got his Daka and started bleeding all of his shit. He'd have been massively behind. Not to mention the 3 HP shooter boys, and then the Warp Spider Exarch had 33 instead of 35 energy, so you couldn't chase him and finish him off. Really unlucky from Adila, but unfortunately Adila's Gambit does not pay off, and Adila is going to be out of this tournament. So it's going to be Tex versus Rain. Thanks for watching, guys. Torpid out.